Blog Talk Radio.
Salutes, everybody. It's your boy, Long Beach Joe, and I am back at it. Okay. I'm back at it again, man. I'm back at it again, and it is time to talk Jets, okay? We got quite a bit to discuss, let me tell you. Jets got an upcoming game with the Steelers coming off of a loss to the Bengals that was just, whoa, all over the place. Jets also have offensive line issues as well. One of the biggest pieces of news, Zach Wilson is back, baby. He is back. He's ready to go. He's been medically cleared. The boy's ready to get on the field. So we're going to be discussing that as well. Again, the number to the show is 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in because we're taking all callers. Salute all the savages in the chat. So let's go ahead and get to the show. All right. Listen, I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love thinking about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. All right. Listen, your boy is also, all right, I am also on iTunes as well. Going over to iTunes, search The Long Beach Joe Show, The Long Beach Joe Show on iTunes, and that'll pull me up. Go ahead and subscribe there and leave me a rating. You know what I'm saying? Leave your boy a 5-star rating. I really appreciate everyone that does that. Really love hearing the feedback, you know, from people about what I'm doing on here as well. I'm also on social media as well. My Twitter, okay, is at The Long Beach Joe, at The Long Beach Joe. My personal Twitter is at, okay, YoungJ000, at YoungJ000, okay? So go ahead and hit those. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Your boy's also live as well. I'm live as well, okay? I'll be live on YouTube, okay? We live stream the show. I also put content up there as well. Going over to YouTube, okay? Type in Long Beach Joe Jets, Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. All right, type that on in, and then guess what? Hit that subscribe button, okay? Once you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell as well, so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. All right, that's what it's all about. Getting involved with your boy any way that you can. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and do that. Get in contact with me any way there, and we get right into it. All right? So, again, I want to thank everybody that does that, you know, because there's a lot of people that tell me, hey, Joe, you look good, man. You look good. Really like how you look. You know, you got a voice made for radio, face made for TV. I say, all right, come on by the YouTube channel. Let's get into it, okay? So, again, Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. Come on by and get involved with everything we doing. Again, salute to all the savages as well. You want to know why I call my chat the savages? Because they're savages. I'm talking savage, man. They get after everybody. Nobody is safe. Not even me. All right? Not even me. So we're going to go ahead and get into it now. Salutes to all the savages in the chat. Again, joining me, everybody. You know, talking that talk in there. All right? Lines is lit up. We'll get to you in just a second. We just got to cover the things we got going on here. Now, the Jets have a game coming up against these Steelers, and we've seen a lot going on. All right? Now, if you look at this upcoming game against the Steelers, first thing I'm concerned about, and it's becoming more of a concern, is coaching. All right? We saw in this last game against the Bengals, we saw a lot of stupid penalties. There's a lot of questions starting to come about as well. His handling of players, how there's no accountability for certain guys getting penalties consistently, right? We're seeing miscommunications defensively all the time. LaMarcus Joyner getting lost in coverage constantly, and these guys aren't being sat down. You know, and there's a lot of questions, again, continuing to come about, a lot of pressure, not just coming from the fans, coming from the media as well. And now things have surfaced where Albridge has said some things about the defensive line and the rotation. He also made some comments on Quentin Williams, and I'm going to let you hear that now. And I want to get your thoughts on this. All right. Here's Coach Albridge speaking about the defensive line rotation. So again, a lot of people being very critical because the defensive line is not getting pressure. Our pass rush hasn't shown up as we thought they would, especially, again, against the Bengals. 13 sacks in 2 weeks, and we only hit Joe Burrow twice. We only sacked him twice. And we're supposed to have this dominant defensive line. A lot of people starting to apply heat. This was Coach Albridge's response to questions about the defensive line and the rotation.
You guys use that rotation on the D-line, everybody shuffling in and out, but when from playing as well as getting like you're saying, is there any thought to keeping a hot hand out there kind of thing when you get more snaps?
That is the instinct, for sure. You know, there's like these critical moments in game, and why is Quinn not out there? You know, and you look to the side, and he's gasping for air, you know. So just got to be judicious with it. Got to absolutely use him as much as we can and as much as we can in critical moments, for sure, you know. But I still think there has to be a level of rotation. He plays at such a high clip, and he goes so hard that sometimes more is less, or more isn't necessarily as good, because now you're not seeing the speed, the explosiveness, all the special stuff from an athletic standpoint that he brings.
Boy, oh boy. I know you folks heard that, okay? And when I heard it, I may have took it a certain way. Again, we're going to ask all the Savages tonight what their thoughts are. Again, salutes, Venom G's, everybody in there. And the second that he said what he said about Quinnen Williams, when you look to the side, you see Quinnen Williams is gassed. I said, uh-oh. I said, uh-oh, man. I knew the second that I heard that there was going to be some issues. I knew it. I knew it. All it took was me hearing that, and I said, uh-oh. People are going to rip him apart for this, because I think it was just a poorly worded answer. Sounded like he was throwing Quinnen Williams under the bus. Again, we also know that Quinnen Williams has got into it with a defensive line coach on the sidelines as well, and that just starts opening the door for people to question Quinnen Williams, whether he's in shape or not, whether he's physically ready to go. And that's what things have spiraled into, people going back and forth. There's a lot of people already, again, ripping Coach Albridge as well, because his defensive game plans have been all over the place. You got, guys that are former players talking about how this could be something that could have players in this locker room tune him out. So now that whole drama has started. This was Sulla's response to the media's critique of Coach Albridge's words on Quinnen Williams.
Quinnen's in the best shape of his life. I'm not going to get into the detail of what happened yesterday. Obviously, a quote, in my opinion, was taken and used against Jeff, when we all know where Jeff's heart is. He'd spent 15 minutes prior to that question showering Q with praise. So it's we have our rotations. We do things the way we do them. Quinnen's in phenomenal shape, and it's kind of bush league to take a one-liner, but it is what it is. So, but we all know where Jeff's heart is, and so no harm, no foul.
Man, so there's Sulla's response. Again, he says he thinks it's bush league. But let me tell you something. People are having a field day with this. And, again, people are already on the back of Coach Albridge as well, because the defense has not performed very well, especially, again, the pass rush. Now, we did well against the Ravens, but ever since then, it's been some issues. And, again, we all thought that this defensive line in particular was going to absolutely destroy people, because we said, hey, our pass rush is real. And we're starting to see that we're not getting enough pressure on QBs. Again, Joe Burrow, this guy had a relatively clean pocket most of the day. This is one of the worst offensive lines in this league. And as we continue on, we're starting to have more and more questions about, can the defense get it done? Can the defense step up? Can the defense get things together? Not only problems with the front end, with this line not getting pressure, but you look at the back end. Guys like LaMarcus Joyner consistently making mistakes and being left out there. And these are veteran guys that are making a lot of these mistakes as well. Penalties. LaMarcus Joyner has been lost in coverage damn near consistently this entire season so far. Constantly getting PI penalties, miscommunications defensively as well, where guys are supposed to pass stuff off to other guys. People not knowing where they're supposed to be, and a lot of people are starting to point that finger at coaching. Rightfully so. Where's the accountability? If a guy's consistently making mistakes, if a guy's not doing what he's supposed to do, if he's hurting the team with his penalties, why is he not being sat down? Why aren't we seeing Will Parks out there? Why aren't we seeing Ashton Davis out there? If LaMarcus Joyner is going to come in and do the things that we're seeing, and again, this has been consistently where guys are getting lost or he's losing guys defensively, why is nothing being done about that? Then you look at the offensive game plan as well. Coaching is there as well. There's starting to be questions about Mike LaFleur. Hey, the tight end usage. Why are we not seeing enough Elijah Moore? Why are we not running the ball more effectively? What's going on there? People are really starting to question the New York Jets coaching, and there's a lot of people saying a lot of things, and we'll get to that tonight as well. And again, going into this Steelers game, Zach Wilson's back. We're all excited about that. But when we look at the outlook for Zach Wilson, he's going to be going uphill. Again, there's a lot of pressure on him to come in, especially, again, with the offense being kind of up and down as it's been. Now he's facing a situation where George Fant is now on the IR. Yes, George Fant is now on the IR. So looking like the New York Jets starting left tackle is going to be Conor McDermott. Big-time issues, especially, again, when you look at this Jets offensive line, it's been struggling, particularly the left side. Max Mitchell and Vera Tucker on the right have actually been very solid. The issue is the guys that we brought in here, or the guy that we brought in here again, Tomlinson, he's been looking terrible. You got Fant over there getting ran by. Joe Flacco, for most of the time, he was the starter. He was running for his life. So now Zach Wilson has to deal behind that, and you got to wonder, can Mike LaFleur game plan to help this offensive line out against a Steelers football team that brings pressure? Ogunjobi, Devin Bush, Miles Jack, Cam Hayward. They call them PITTSBURGH. You want to know why they blitz? And if you don't think that Mike Tomlin and this unbelievably educated staff of the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to do what it takes to get after Zach Wilson coming back in his first game after being injured, you're out of your mind. They're absolutely going to send pressure. So we've lost George Fant. He's on IR. Beckman, we all know, is on IR. Dwayne Brown, he's on IR. He's supposed to come back week 5. That was the original diagnosis. There's been talks that he may not come back week 5. We will see. So now we're turning to Conor McDermott. The New York Jets did sign Mike Rimmers, Cedric Odebushi as well. Practice squad. Rimmers coming from Kansas City. Odebushi coming from Houston. So those guys are on the practice squad. But let me tell you something. This offensive line, this front better get it together. There was a lot of talk about Zach Wilson being mobile and that being a big part of why everyone's excited for him to come back and save the offense. That is not enough. And we'll get to the lines in just a second. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in. We'll get to the line in just a second. Zach Wilson being mobile is not going to save the New York Jets offense. He needs to be protected properly. Zach Wilson was mobile last season when he was getting blasted. He was extending plays. He was running away from guys, all that stuff. That is not good. Having your quarterback, all right, constantly get hit is not good for you. It's not. Him being able to run away from guys doesn't mean that it's okay for him not to be properly protected, because he was running away from guys when he was getting hit and blasted and jacked up his PCL last season. Anybody remember that? Anybody remember that game in New England before he got injured and left the game, how many times he was getting hit by that New England defense? I do, and I don't want to see that again. He's got to be protected properly. We also got to get the running game going. I want to see Garrett Wilson be fed as well. What the hell happened to Elijah Moore? I want to see him get the ball more in space. Can we get Elijah Moore the ball in space? He's a weapon. Again, Pittsburgh's going to be dealing with some injuries as well. Witherspoon, guy was there. He's a corner of theirs. He looks like he's going to be out. He's dealing with a hamstring injury. Minkah Fitzpatrick was dealing with a concussion, but it's looking like he's going to play. But we've got to step up and come out offensively and really get going quickly against Pittsburgh. We really do. We can't come out sluggish. We can't come out not prepared and ready. We got to get rolling. We also got to get our tight ends, particularly C.J. Uzomah. Can we get him involved? Then you look at the New York Jets defense. This pass rush has got to show up. It's got to against Trubisky. You got to bang him around. You got to get him uncomfortable. You got to handle business. And you also got to look at stopping the run as well. Najee Harris is a monster. You got to stop and slow him down. This is going to be a big test. Quincy Williams, is out. He's dealing with that ankle injury. He dodged a serious injury. We all thought it was worse than what it actually is. It's just a high ankle sprain, but again, those things tend to linger. So we're going to see a bit of Sherwood in this game. Can Sherwood step up? Because we all know Pittsburgh's going to target him as well. John Franklin Myers is dealing with a toe injury. It's looking like he's going to play at this point. Then you look at the Steelers' weapons outside as well. Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, Sauce and Reed are going to have their hands full with those guys, man. Going to have their hands full. But I believe in Sauce and Reed. But my biggest issue is the safety play. Whitehead, we've seen him consistently miss tackles. We see Joyner again getting lost in coverage. You do any of that stuff, and let me tell you, Pittsburgh will light you up. Oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire. It's going to be a straight fire. They'll burn you alive. They'll cook you. All these defensive miscommunications, and again, we've heard Reed come out and talk about how the New York Jets are going to have meetings, and we've got to clean things up. Sulla has come out and talked about how the miscommunications are annoying, and all. They've got to clean that stuff up. You've got to communicate better. Even Bart Scott has talked about how the communication seems extremely bad. They've got to clean that up because these consistent blown coverages are going to get us destroyed. And we've got to get pressure. I know Lawson's getting his pressures, but they've got to hit home. We've got to get sacks. We've got to. John Franklin Myers, Jermaine Johnson, Jacob Martin, all these guys we spoke about. We got to get more sacks. We got to get after. We've got to be dominant. We've got to absolutely cause disruption up front. So I want to see if this New York Jets football team is going to be able to do that upcoming against the Steelers. And again, we're going into the Steelers' home. We all know that that's a tough place to play. So we're going to get to the callers now. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639. Listen, Zach Wilson's back, baby.
Here we go.
I'm ready to go, baby. So we're going to get to these lines. Again, please be patient. The lines are hot. We're going to get to everybody. First caller I'm going to, 914. I believe this is my guy, Frankie. I believe this is Frankie, 914. Salutes to you, my friend. It's good to see you back in the building.
First, hey, what up, man?
What's going on, man? Listen, Zach Wilson's back. Zach Wilson's back, my friend. What are your expectations of him in his first football game, coming back, returning from the injury?
I'm excited, man. I'm real excited that he's back. I'm just hoping, I'm praying, I'm hoping that, Wall Street Wilson is the real deal, because if he's a Burrow, a Trevor Lawrence, a Herbert, a Mahomes, then we're talking. If he's just an average quarterback or below average, then we're going to have to rely on our defense, So it's a quarterback league. We all know this. So it's all on Wilson. So he's got to be the savior. So he can save Salah, because at this point, Salah's not saving Wilson.
So when you talk about Zach Wilson coming back, and again, I've heard from other people, other fans as well. I have conversations constantly. We go back and forth. You said yourself, you think he's going to be the savior of this football team offensively. But what are your thoughts about our offensive line issues? Do you think they'll be able to hold up against the pressure that Pittsburgh is going to bring? Because that's going to be a huge thing as well. How can Zach Wilson save this offense if he's constantly getting hit or on his back?
No, I hear you, man. And listen, we're down to our fourth string left tackle. That's going to be hard for any team. And the only concern, a big concern I have with Zach Wilson actually, is his durability. This is twice now he's been injured. He's not the biggest guy in terms of football terms. So, that's my big concern about him. I don't know if he could last in this league. I'm a little concerned about that. But offensive line. Offensive line. Our offensive line is not. Our left tackle situation is terrible. I mean, what can we do? I think we should put AVT there at left tackle, even Max Mitchell, and put Herberg in, but they're not going to do that because they don't want a status quo of AVT. He's playing well. They're not going to do that. So they'd rather ride with McDermott, which he sucks. Everyone knows he sucks. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, I listen, I hear you, and I know that there's people talking about questioning whether Zach Wilson can, his durability. Look, the first injury, you can't blame him for the PCL injury. He was getting blasted.
Yeah.
Okay? He was getting taken shots.
Right.
But if you're not properly protecting him, if you're not making sure that he's good to go, if you're not making sure that he has time in the pocket and he's constantly getting hit, like what we saw last season, again, we saw it this season because the offensive line has struggled, man, it's going to be – you're going to have a long day. And, again, that's going to go into hurting him with his development as well. So my final question, man.
You know what?
You look at this New York –
we should do more quick passes like what the Bengals did to us last week. Get that ball out quick like Brady does it. All these good quarterbacks, they're going to do it in LA now too with Herbert because he's getting dinged up. You don't really want your quarterback running around too much, especially Zach Wilson. He's the biggest guy. I mean, he can run and he do it sometimes, but I think you got to limit that because, the great quarterbacks that last, get that ball out quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I absolutely hear you. Now, listen, my final question before I let you go is, do you think this New York Jets pass rush will show up? Do you think we'll be able to get after Mitchell Trubisky and bang him around? Do you think this pass rush will actually get things going? Because a lot of people are disappointed about what we saw against the Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah,
Joe, at this point, I'm not sold because I like Carl Lawson. I really like the guy, but to me, something's off with that guy. He's not playing up to snuff. I don't know what it is. Maybe, he's coming off ACL. So, I don't know. Maybe something's wrong. I like the guy. I mean, he's a workout warrior and all this good stuff. He's a good team, all this good stuff. But he's got to be the dude. We paying him to be the dude. And he's not the dude right now. So Jermaine Johnson is still raw, right? He's a rookie. I don't know what to expect from him. And Quinn Williams, he's on the inside. So Carl Lawson's got to be the dude. Do I expect him? At this point, I'm more of a, show me and then I'll believe. Because right now, I don't really believe.
Okay. So before I let you go, man, give me your game prediction. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think this game ends up?
Yeah, man, I think it's gonna be a close game. Pittsburgh, they're always smart to play fundamental football. They're gonna, rely on the running game, and they're not gonna rely on Trubisky. He's not that great. He's average at best. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think I'll go with the Jets. I'm a fan, so I'll say 2017 Jets.
Okay, 2017 Jets. All right. Listen, got to let you go, my friend. Thank you for calling in. You have yourself a good one, all right?
All right, Joe. Thanks for taking the call.
Absolutely. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in, all right? We're taking all callers. Please give the stream a thumbs up wherever you're watching me from. Also, share the stream as well with your friends and your family, okay? I want to thank everyone that does that. It's greatly appreciated. Also, again, please subscribe if you have not subscribed. And when you do, please hit that notification bell so, when I do post content, you folks will be in the know. So we're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in. Next, we're going to 845. 845, you're looking like a new caller. Give me your name, where you're from, and give me your thoughts about the Jets' upcoming game against the Steelers. Zach Wilson's back. What are your expectations?
Hey, Joe. My name's Devin. I'm from White Plains, New York. Longtime Jets fan, first-time caller. So a couple things,
Salute and thank you for calling in.
No problem. So a couple things that I just want to talk about. Zach Wilson scares me. To come out after all this time and all the hype in the preseason and to, first throw have an interception and then the next throw or the next run to go down untouched, so his frame scares me. I really wish we got Lawrence that year. Ulbrich, he isn't it so far because 32nd, I think, in DVOA is unacceptable for the talent that they have on this team. Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed have been pretty shut down. I think they're doing pretty well. And, with the names and the amount of money that we have invested on the defensive line, I don't know about this playing time thing, but I think, they need to change something else because 32 is really unacceptable for who we have. And, how are you making Quinnen Williams mad? I mean, and, in terms of where the offense is, I think Joe Douglas has, put the pieces in place to be successful. Injury luck is a huge thing in the NFL. And, unfortunately, the Jets are down 3 tackles, which seems incredible. And, I want to get your thoughts on if the team is top 5 bad this year. What do you think about Sean Payton as, new coach, new quarterback, and, J.G. Singh?
Well,
thanks.
Yeah. First off, again, Devin, I want to thank you for calling in. You said a lot. Okay, so I'm going to start with Wilson. Wilson, I think, it's tough to really figure out what the guy is and what he is, and he's definitely had a lot of great flashes, right? We've seen a lot of promise from him, but I think that especially when you look at the first year, there was a lot of issues as far as talent surrounding him and a lot of issues with protection. And that's, again, a big issue and concern coming into this season as well, because here we have a lot of guys, as you spoke about, that we signed. We signed a lot of guys in the offseason, but we were extremely excited about a lot of the guys we signed along or guys that we brought in for the offensive line, right? We were extremely excited about Tomlinson coming in the building. We said, whoa, we got ourselves a guy, Pro Bowl guy. He's going to come in and really help our guard spot, and we're going to be good to go. Well, here we are sitting here, and the biggest issues that we have are along our left side of our offensive line, and they're just not like little concerns. No, we watched Tomlinson get taken from the line of scrimmage and put in Joe Flacco's lap in the first game. We've seen him and Fant struggle, and again, Fant's now on IR, which is an issue because now you got Conor Mcdermott starting, who we've seen struggle as well. But with those type of issues, now you're looking at the situation. You're going to have Zach Wilson running for his life yet again, and we've seen that, yeah, Zach can extend plays and make moves, but when you have a guy pressured like that, and I always talk about going back to, you watch the Bucs against the Chiefs in the big game, Patrick Mahomes is one of the best quarterbacks of our time, to be completely honest. He's phenomenal. But when he had pass rush in his face, he looked like a terrible quarterback. He looked horrible. He looked like, just some average guy that didn't belong in the league. So that shows you that when people are talking about guys being able to extend the play or guys being athletic and running, that's not all that matters here. If you cannot properly protect your quarterback, you're going to have big-time issues. I'm talking big-time issues. So it's going to go a long way to see what he is and what he isn't, with our level of protection. And that, again, goes to Mike LaFleur. So when I look at the situation here, and you were talking about, him being fired or Sulla being fired, and there's a lot of people already talking about possibly moving on from him. I don't know yet, man. I have to see the season and how the season plays out. I think, again, we're coming up on week 4. I'm hoping that he can turn things around. I'm hoping he can get things together. But, again, there's been injuries. We just got to see how the season plays out. But, again, if this thing does completely fall off the wheels and Zach Wilson just completely falls off, there's going to be a lot of people calling for a lot of people to get up out of here. And a lot of people probably are going to start calling for possibly Joe Douglas to be fired as well. And that leads me to my next question for you. When you look at this situation here now, and you look at what we've got going here, right, and you look at what we need to do against this upcoming Steelers football team, how important is it for us to get the running game going to kind of ease the pressure off of Zach Wilson? Do you think we'll be able to rush the football effectively against the Steelers in their front?
I really think we have the chance to. I think that sort of the scheme that they're on with the outside zone, I think it is, sort of goes away from Cam Hayward. So, I think he's their best player right now on defense. So if we can avoid running into Cam Hayward, I think it'll work out. But, you have a talented running back in Breece Hall. I'd like to see Breece Hall touch the rock maybe 20 times. If we're in this game, it'll be a low-scoring game. Trubisky's not going to really run up the score unless we let him, unfortunately. But, I think if you see a lot of touches from the running backs, and, Mike Carter's obviously no slouch, and I think this offensive line wants to run the ball. I mean, Vera Tucker is athletic and has played pretty well this season. And, I think something that maybe people might miss about Tomlinson is he was playing next to Trent Williams, the best left tackle in the league last year. So maybe his play is impacted a little bit by that, but, hopefully he's a guy that, he seems like a guy that wants to get nasty. I think he had a slogan, trench warfare. So hopefully, this is a game where they can, get these guys moving, and Breece Hall can hopefully start taking over some games, and it does relieve the pressure off Zach. I really want Zach to be successful, and he's definitely got the arm and the talent, and could be a superstar. But it's really up to coaching to adjust. So Saleh, the CEO, needs to be in Mike LaFleur's ear, saying, "Hey, let's take care of the ball and take care of our guy."
Now, when you look at us defensively, this is going to be my final question for you. Again, lines are hot. When you look at us defensively, how concerned are you about the matchup with Najee Harris? Do you think we'll be able to stop the run?
I think this team has been underrated against the run so far. The type of defense that they run, they're really trying to penetrate and get upfield. So sometimes they get gashed for, what's all called explosives. But, I think that they put game plans in place to stop the run. But, obviously it's been at the sacrifice of the pass rush. So, maybe they can balance that out this week. And, I don't mind giving up a couple of runs if we're sacking the quarterback on third down, so
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully. Now, my final question before I let you go, Devin, you've been bringing some heat, man. Give me your score prediction, man. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think this game ends up?
I think this will be, a 2017 game. Unfortunately, I think the Steelers will have will take it. I think Zach is going to have an adjustment period this game. He's been rusty before, and, he's missed more time than anyone really anticipated him missing. So him coming back, that rust factor, we'll see what the chemistry is like between Garrett Wilson, who's, been the man recently. So hopefully, Garrett Wilson's play doesn't really drop off here because it's obvious the man can play. And Elijah Moore, we have to see what Zach can do with Elijah Moore. And, the top two receivers should be Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore in that order, and Corey Davis should fill in where he can. And, as long as they're able to get the tight ends involved again, then maybe they do surprise us because, they did say during the preseason that Zach and Conklin had a relationship. So, obviously Conklin's been appearing as of late, but, let's see if we can keep it going with Zach and, fingers crossed.
Yeah. So what's your final score prediction?
2017 Steelers.
2017 Steelers, he says. Oh, my goodness. Ooh, Devin's starting it off. Listen, Devin, this was a great call from you, all right? Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you, my friend.
Sounds good, Joe.
All right, you have a good one. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Again, I'm taking all callers. I want to make sure my audio is good. Again, salutes to Jennifer J.E. If there's any issues, please let me know. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting good stuff on my end. But if y'all having trouble hearing me or there's any problems, let me know. Salutes to y'all again, all the savages in the chat. We're going to get to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Please call in. Next, I am going to my guy, Venom G's. Venom G, salute to you. D will come to you in a second. Steve, 813 will come to you again. Hold on, everybody. Your lines is hot. Salutes Venom G's. For y'all that do not know, all right, Venom G's, that boy's a savage, man. You know how Venom G's go. You know what I'm saying? Salutes to you, Venom. I want to thank you for calling in. Listen,
what's
man,
up, bro?
Zach's back. Zach is back, bro. Give me your thoughts. What do you expect from him?
What? Wait. Why are you so happy for, man?
Come on, Vin.
Yo, this boy ain't show us nothing. Man, Joe.
Yeah.
Slow down,
oh,
Joe.
My, I got to slow down.
I got to
slow down. Come on,
Joe,
Venom,
what more do you want from me?
What do you want from me, Venom?
Joe.
All right, we talking Jets. I'm hyped, baby. Come on now.
Oh, this
Come on, Venom.
Joe, this is it. Joe, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, man. Mystical told you, man.
Man.
Joe,
Here we
you,
go.
Joe, we saw this. We saw this before, Joe. if you don't remember, we went through this together, me and you. We went through this together. Remember now, the same thing happened with Sam Darnold. The first year he got hurt. Second year he was out with mono. This is Zach's second year. He's out. The same amount of time. We're going through the same thing again. He came back. He saw ghosts. What you think, what you think Zach is going to see now? He's going to see boogeymen and
Venom,
stuff like that.
Venom, listen, I hear you, okay? I hear what you're saying, but this is a different quarterback, and it's a different time. Now, I do have concerns about the New York Jets offensive line. I will give you that, right? Because we've lost we've lost Fant, right? Tomlinson has not looked good. The left side is questionable. But this is a different time, Venom. It's a different time. It's a different day. This is Zach Wilson. This is not Sam Darnold. That time is over, Venom. That time's over, Venom.
Yo,
I need a new attitude.
No.
Come on, Venom. Buy in, brother. Buy in.
Joe, you used to call me Mr. Optimistic, man. I've been through this before, man. We've been through it. We've been down this road before, Joe. I'm not going to walk down 5 dark alleys to get beat up 5 times and say, hey, I'm going to walk down it a 6th time. I'm going to be cautious now. Now I'm cautious, Joe.
Okay,
so,
you be cautious.
Let's back on topic with Zach. With Zach, I think with Zach coming back, I just want to see some progression, man. Just some steps in the right direction, man. I don't want to hear all these things that Salah talks about. I don't want to hear it was a great week in practice. When is that translating into Sundays? I don't want to hear that all the time. We heard that so many times. All these players look good in the week of practice, the walkthroughs, the game plan. Sunday comes, there's no game plan. They can't. Joe, this is going to be a bad game for us, man, because we have no run game. We have no offensive lines like that. How can we? Joe, what's the most that we ran for? We don't have a run game. People are in our backfield as soon as they hand the ball off, so we can't really get the run game going. That's why Flacco's passing it 40, 50 times every game because there's no run game. They don't have time to get down the field. They can't hand it off to get 10, 12, 14 yards, 20 yards. They can't do that. So now what they do is just go to the passing game after that point. So that's what they're doing now, you know. And I think even with everybody saying the coaching staff, everybody's correct. This coaching staff sucks. Out of everybody that left San Francisco, these 3 probably are the worst. Mike McDonald in Miami. In Miami, look how good Miami's looking. Look at Green Bay, how they're looking. So everybody that leaves that Mike Shanahan tree is succeeding. Joe, if and these are 1 year. Look at Dabo in 1 year coaches, and they're getting progress from their players. What are we doing here that we're not getting progress? Robert Saleh Robert Saleh, he had a pass rusher. He had a pass rusher in the Bosa. He was excelling at his first year. We can't get one rookie to excel on the pass rush edge.
Well, look, Venom. There's
with
still
this coaching.
time. Listen, and I will agree. Mike LaFleur, there's been some suspect play calling, suspect utilization, right, of players. We talk about Elijah Moore being more a part of the offense. Garrett Wilson, again, continue to feed him. But in our tight end use, they've been getting away from the run early. But this is time that they clean it up. Again, if you look at us defensively, and that's going to be my next and final question for you, you know, Albridge has come out and said some things about, you know, the defensive line rotation, Quentin Williams and stuff like that. But I think that this is the week that we're going to be able to get after it up front. I really do. I think we'll be able to put some pressure on Trubisky. Now, one of my biggest question marks is trying to stop Najee Harris, and that's going to be my question for you is, do you think this Jets defense will be able to slow him down?
Yeah, they'll be able to slow him down. You could see in the run stuff game is pretty good. You could see we held the Ravens to the lowest rushing yards of their first week. And then the second week, we held the second team to their lowest rushing yards as well. The third week with the Cleveland Browns, they took off on us. The Bengals, we held them down too. So it's not like, you know, there's spurts, but the offense is off the field so quickly that the defense is getting burnt out. So we need a balanced attack where the offense can stay on the field a little bit longer to give these guys some rest, But I think it's going to be a tough game, Joe.
Yeah, well, it is Pittsburgh, all right? So my final, before I let you go,
Pittsburgh,
you call in and you called in and spit your takes, man. It was a little. It was. It is what it is. You're giving us your
today, man.
All right? You bringing us your view. I respect it. Give me your final score prediction. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think this game ends up?
Man, we can't score a touchdown, so I think we're going to have 15-27. I think what is it? I think Pittsburgh is going to win.
Oh my Lord! 15-27. All right, listen, Venom. I want to thank.
Yeah, all field goals.
All field goals,
no touchdowns.
Oh my God, you have a good one, Venom.
You too, Joe.
Venom calling in. He's giving us his takes, man. He said what he had to say. There's a lot of Jets fans that are questioning the coaching. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers, okay? Again, when you call in, please be patient. We'll get to everybody. The lines are hot, all right? Again, when you call in, please know that I can see you, okay? So don't call in and hang up, call in and hang up, call in and hang up. I have you in a queue. I can see you. For my new callers, when you call in, please do not call in and curse on my show. That's the only thing I do not allow here, okay? I don't allow that. Don't call in and curse on my show. It's a family show, all right? You call in and curse, I got to get you out of here fast. Fast. I'm talking faster than we got Adam Gage out of here. Fast. I'm talking faster than the media can turn on a New York Jets coach. That was fast, man. I'm talking faster than people started talking about firing Robert Saleh. That was fast, baby. I gave him a triple fast right there. You know what I'm saying? That was triple speed. All right, we'll get into these calls again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Wherever you're watching me from, please give the stream a thumbs up. Also, share the stream as well with your friends and your family. All right? And again, please subscribe if you have not subscribed and hit that notification bell so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Next, I am going to my guy, D. My 111 caller, hold, Steve, Ted, we'll get to you in a second. I got to get to my guy, D, and get his thoughts on this situation. D, salutes to you. I want to thank you for calling in. Listen, D, there's a lot of talk, man. A lot of talk going on right now. A lot of people frustrated with Robert Saleh. Do you think Saleh will have this team prepared to go on the road against Pittsburgh? Do you think he'll have them prepared where they come out full of energy?
What's good, Joe?
What's going on,
man? Have they been prepared in 2 years?
Come on.
I doubt it. I doubt it, man.
Oh.
Honestly,
Wow.
I doubt it, man.
Wow.
I mean,
well, do you
last year we finished what?
Go ahead.
Last year we finished what on defense?
Oh, man. Bottom of the league, man.
What are we
Bottom
right
of the
now?
league. Yeah,
there it is. There it is.
Well, come on, look.
I don't think
there's time to turn it around. I hear what everybody's saying. All right, there's some questionable stuff going on here, but there's time to turn it around. It's just week 4. Yes, we've had some weeks we've struggled, but again, we've got to put things together. Week 1, we were looking good defensively against the Ravens, but offensively we sputtered. Against Cleveland, we found a way to come back. The Bengals, things didn't, look so great, but all right, we can kind of clean things up going forward. And I think a big thing, for us to really get back on track, especially with Zach Wilson back, is Mike LaFleur really putting together a solid game plan so that things can get going early and get hot. So how much faith do you have in Mike LaFleur to put together a game plan to properly protect Zach Wilson against this Steelers pass rush, man?
Honestly, I have none. I ain't gonna lie. I'm on the Venom G's train tonight.
Oh man,
I don't, man. I don't, man. Our offense don't look anything. It don't look nothing like the 49ers offense. I mean, you can't. You got running backs getting 8 carries. You got. I mean, what do we draft? Why do we draft these guys for? If you're gonna give them 8 carries,
yeah.
You can't use one. You can't use one of our receivers. You can't even use them right. You got him throwing bombs and going deep, and he can work the whole field. It don't make no sense, man. It don't make no sense, man. I'm calling for his head at the end of the season, man. I don't think he's going to turn it around, man. Offensive coordinator.
Well, what do you
offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator got to go.
What are your expectations for Zach Wilson? Because there's a lot of people saying he's going to come out and save this offense because of how mobile he is. Do you agree with that?
He can only save the offense if the play calling is good. But the play calling, as you can tell, with this guy throwing 100 and 250 passes in 3 games, I don't know what he's doing. If you got a running back that average 5 yards per carry, right?
Yeah.
Why do you stop running the ball? I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah. There's been a lot of questions. And I hear y'all because again we've seen where there are some things going on offensively where all of a sudden we get away from the run, especially when we get down a little bit. So that's a big question there. Listen, D, I'm going to let you go, but before I do, give me your final score prediction for this game against the Steelers. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think it ends up?
Well, since our kicker has been kicking a lot and often and making them, I'm going to say he kicks 4 field goals again. I say we lose, I would say 24-17.
24-17. 24-17 Steelers. It is what it is. Listen, I want to thank you for calling in, man. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you, all right?
No doubt, Joe. Have a good night, man.
All right, you have a good one. Listen, Jets fans are calling in, and I hear it. I go back and forth with a lot of people. I talk with a lot of Jets fans, and a lot of people are fed up, especially after the stuff with Aldridge, these comments. And again, I see where people are coming from. I thought it was just poorly worded by Aldridge. I didn't think he was necessarily trying to throw Quinnen Williams under the bus. But there's a lot of Jets fans that do not feel like that, and I'm here to listen. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in. Next, we're going to, I think this is my guy, Val here, 111. It might be calling in from Skype. Salutes to you. Is this Val on the line?
Oh, no, this is Naj, man. What's going on?
Naj, salutes to you. Naj, it sounds like you're a new guy. Give me your name, where you're from, man, and what are your thoughts about this New York Jets football team? Zach Wilson's back. How are you feeling about it?
No, this is Naj from Atlanta, man. The one who was telling you your man wasn't as bad as you thought he was. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Salute to you, Naj. They're calling it. I just didn't, we didn't see that. So salute to you. Thank you again for calling back in, man. Give me your thoughts. Zach Wilson's coming back. How are you feeling about that? From the outside looking in, what are your thoughts about his return? What do you expect out of him?
Yeah. So, for one, I don't think the offensive line is as bad as Jets fans are thinking it is. 14th in adjusted line rate, 15th in adjusted sack rate. So, we're talking about pretty much middle of the pack. Not a great offensive line, not a good offensive line, but this is not a poor, terrible offensive line. There are things that can be done schematically to make up for, the lack of talent on the line. So as far as Zach Wilson, to me,
can I give you some pushback on that, Naj? Now, and again, I know you watch the game. I hope you watch the games. We watch the games, right, as well. Naj, this offensive line has been really bad. If you go back, you watch that first game against the Ravens, we saw guys get taken from the line of scrimmage, pushed back into Joe Flacco. We've seen him consistently have to move. I think he was sacked like 4 times against the Bengals. Like, he's constantly having pressure in his face. And there's also some issues as well, you know, especially on the outside, that tackle, particularly the left side, right? That left tackle, now we got Conor McDermott here. Tomlinson has not played well. The right side is holding up well, which is surprising. Max Mitchell, rookie guy, we did not expect him to play his first year. He's been looking good. Okay? Elijah Vera-Tucker has looked phenomenal on the right side as well. It's the left side of the line that is the biggest concern and issue. That's the horrible side of the line. But, again, that's part of the line.
Understood,
and
though.
so pressure has been
We're
coming.
not talking about
pressure has been coming.
Yeah,
Go
understood,
ahead.
though. We're not talking about great individual talent. So, you know, our expectations should be realistic about what these guys can possibly do. But if every game you play, you're in a horrible game script to where you're behind and you're throwing every down, that creates a scenario to where you look much worse than what you are. That's what I'm trying to get at. That's why I gave, you know, adjusted line rate and adjusted sack rate for this line. Like, to their credit, they've been under the gun all season. Now, look, I think you have everything you need to evaluate Zach Wilson, and that's the most important thing. So you find out whether this is a guy or if this is somebody you need to move off of, and you start sending the scouts out to evaluate quarterbacks for next year. So to me, everything is in place. You get to see Zach Wilson. I think the weapons are adequate, and you get to see what you have. So this game is going to be big. We're going to find out who his favorite targets are. Is Breece Hall going to be upset and want the old man back at QB because he was eating all those targets with the old man back there? Like, you know, this is going to be interesting. But I think you guys can run the ball on the Steelers. They're giving up 142 yards per game on the ground. The Steelers are a big play defense so far this year. They've been pretty much carved up on the ground, and they're giving up big plays in the passing game. But they've been creating so many turnovers and sacks that, you know, the defense is actually making plays and keeping them in games. I look at this game like this. I would run it as conservative as possible, and if anything goes awry, I would punt it. Why? Because I'm not scared of that Steelers offense. If they want to get a ball to Najee 30 times, please go ahead. Najee seemed like a great prospect coming out of Alabama. He seems like a solid back, but Najee is not a game breaker. If they want to give him the ball 30 times and you know, 3 yards to carry it, I'd be fine with that if I'm the Jets. And the way I'm looking at this game, and I know this is going to surprise a lot of Jets fans, but this is one where I'm laying a little something on the upset. I'm talking about 21-10 upset.
21
Jets. J-E-T.
Oh,
yes.
Hold on.
21. I don't think. Look. I think this is the perfect time to catch the Steelers. I think that offense is historically bad. And by the middle of the season, we're going to see Kenny Pickett, and they'll probably be a little more dangerous later on during the season. But as of right now, with Mitch Trubisky captaining the ship and Najee Harris being their probably most dangerous weapon, and as I said, that's not something I'm really scared of. I just think this team can't score enough to beat you guys. And if you guys can just hold the line as far as not turning the ball over and giving them short fields, I just think you wait on this Steelers offense to implode. And, yeah, I think they can be had. So I'm going Jets victory here. We get the evaluation of Zach Wilson. Robert Saleh gets to be all victorious and do all the speeches, and we know, boy, he's going to talk. Boy, it's going to be a lot of talk. It's going to be a lot of flowery talk from that man about how great everybody is after the game. But yeah, man, I think the Steelers team can be had.
All right. Listen, Naj, I want to thank you for calling in. You spit your takes. You have yourself a good one, all right?
Same, brother.
All right. Listen, Naj called in and said the Jets are going to get an upset. He had a lot to say as well about this Jets offensive line. I didn't necessarily agree. They have been very bad. Again, the left side has been horrific. Horrific. I'm talking bad, man, especially, again, now Conor McDermott's here, and we all know.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
He is not good, all right? We'll keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Again, I want to thank everybody that's calling in. Wherever you're watching me from, please give the stream a thumbs up. Also, share the stream as well with your friends and your family. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed. You know what I'm saying? And hit that notification bell so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. All right? So we're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Next, we're going to my guy, Ted. BK, Steve, hold on a second. We'll come to you in a second. Other callers as well. Hold on. First off, we're going to my guy, Ted. We're going to hear his takes. For those of you that do not know, Ted, he's a savage. Ted's a damn savage. Salutes to you, Ted. I want to thank you for calling in. We're talking Jets. What's going on, man? We're talking Jets, Steelers. Man, give me your thoughts. Zach Wilson's coming back. What are your expectations of him in his first game back, man, coming back from the knee injury?
I think we're going to take the blueprint that the Bengals had, not comparing Zach to Burrow, but the Bengals came in with a really poor offensive line that wasn't playing well, gave up a ton of sacks, and they had Burrow just doing short, quick passes and some passes to the wide receivers and the passes to the running back. I think you're going to see that kind of really quick throw to tone down the rush of the Steelers. Give Zach some, give him a chance to get into the flow of the game and mix in some runs. But I would come out, it's almost like I'm thinking about the Brown game too. Jacoby Brissett, everyone said, the Browns are going to come and pound the ball. They're averaging, they got this big back, they got this two-headed backfield. And they came out and spread the ball out, and Jacoby scrambled and passed and just went down the field. I can see them coming out, spreading it out a little, throwing a little, and then mixing the run, and then trying to do it that way. Because if we come out and they stuff the run, then, it's the first few series, then we're third and long. We can't – maybe we're a little too predictable with Flacco because Flacco is not mobile. Zach is mobile. The training wheels have to come off this game. The training wheels have to.
Yeah, and he's even talked about it.
There
was a lot of people.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, exactly what you were saying. To your point, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like you were saying as well, they're going to have to open up the offense and get it rolling. He even said himself that, a lot of people were saying, hey, are you going to try to dial it down a little bit, stay in the pocket? He says, no, I'm going to play. I'm paraphrasing, but basically I'm going out there. I'm going to play 100%. I'm going to let it loose. If a guy's coming after me, I'm going to escape and run it and, extend the play if I need to. I'm doing it all. I'm not holding anything back. I'm ready to go. So that's good to hear. But my question is, and we talk about the athleticism and opening up the playbook, part of opening up the playbook is having solid protection. This offensive line, the left side of the offensive line, has shown to be poop sauce. And now with George Fant now going on IR, we have Conor McDermott there. Do you think that Mike LaFleur will be able to scheme to protect Zach Wilson properly? Because PITTSBURGH is going to bring pressure. I talked about it earlier. Cam Hayward, Miles Jack, Devin Bush. These guys are not a joke. Ogunjobi. That's a strong defensive lineman in this league. Do you think that Mike LaFleur will be able to scheme to protect Zach Wilson because these guys are going to bring the house? Because they know that we have issues dealing with pressure, again, amongst our left side.
Yep. We have no choice. That's his job. His job, we have to come in. If we have to keep in 2 tight ends and send 4 receivers out and a running back, I don't care how he does it. I don't care if he puts 6, 8 offensive linemen and 3 wide receivers. They can't do that. 7 3 wide receivers and a quarterback. You have to. I'm daring them. I would come out in 4 wides and dare them to stop it. They're going to stop 4 wides and 2 tight ends and put them in the shotgun. Okay. How are they going to stop that? He can run out of the pocket. He can roll. I think they're going to do a combination of running short passes. Zach is very mobile. Flacco, I think the play calling was limited because of his inability to move. He's basically Roethlisberger light. When Roethlisberger was at the end of his career, he was a statue, and the Steelers couldn't do anything. They knew it. Eventually, they figured it out that Roethlisberger was done. I mean, he was never really a runner, but I guess earlier he was a little bit more of a runner. But I just think the playbook is going to open up a lot more. I think the playbook's going to open up a lot more.
Okay.
It has to.
And I want.
We have to see.
Do you think?
We definitely have to see.
Yeah.
What
Do
we
you
have.
think
Go ahead,
we'll
Joe.
see? Do you think we'll see Elijah Moore be utilized more, trying to get him in space in this football game as well?
No, I think you're going to see Berrios and Moore on the short passes. The Breece Hall out of the backfield, just quick, just like I said in the beginning. Joe Burrow there were 13 sacks on Burrow in 2 weeks or something, some crazy number. What they do?
Yeah.
He went back and 2-3, and he didn't even run. He didn't scramble much, but 2 to 3 seconds, the ball was out. You know what? I think, Zach, you got a 2-3 second window. If no one's open, dirt it. You can always punt and play defense. You're playing against Mitch Trubisky. And let me say this, Joe. If Mitch Trubisky looks like, Jacoby Brissett, like, the first game, or the Brown game, when all of a sudden he looked great, then we got big problems on the defense. Because there's no way Trubisky should be lighting us up. No way.
Yeah. I mean, we about to see. Yeah. So before I let you go, Ted, because you brought some heat, man, give me your final score prediction. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think this game ends up?
I think we may have to win ugly. I'll give it 20 to 17 Jets, because I think we're going to make enough plays. I think we have the better quarterback. We have maybe not the better defense. We have the better weapons, probably. I'm not sure. Is Minka Fitzpatrick even playing? I'm not even sure. He's questionable. He may not even be playing.
I believe. I believe he was in the concussion protocol, but I believe that he's been practicing, and they haven't said things out. So I'm thinking he's probably going to play in this game. Yeah, their corner, Witherspoon, is out, though. He's already been out with that hamstring. But Minka right now, he's been practicing. He's been full practice. So I think he's probably going to be a go. Yeah.
I just don't think they can cover all our weapons. Well, I thought that for the Bengal game, too, but we let Hendrickson wreck our pass. But like I said, Joe, Flacco is like, he's not, there can't be much creativity with a bad offensive line and an immobile quarterback. It can't get any worse than that. Now let's see what we have. All right. I know our offensive line is banged up, but let's go.
Yeah. All right. And again, 2017.
Yes, sir.
Listen, Ted, I want to thank you for calling in, man. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you. All right, my friend?
All right, Joe. See you Sunday, maybe.
All right. You have a good one, man. Listen, salutes. All right, we're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in. Again, please give the stream a thumbs up. Share the stream with your friends and your family along your social media. And please subscribe if you have not subscribed. Hit that notification bell, all right? I want to thank everybody that does do that. It is greatly appreciated, okay? Next, we're going to my guy, BK Trainer, all right? Steve will come to you next. All the other callers will come to you guys in a second. Listen, my guy, BK, for those of you that do not know, Jeez, BK is such a savage. Salutes to you, BK. I want to thank you for calling in. BK, listen, we talking Jets, Steelers, man. What's going on, man? You got Zach Wilson coming back. Are you concerned about rust? Zach Wilson ain't played in a minute. Are you concerned about rust and timing, throwing him off in this football game?
Am I concerned? It's hard to say, man. It all depends on the game plan. There may be a little rust in the beginning, but he should find his way with some of the guys. You know what I'm saying? He's been practicing with them, in the off season. So there may be a little bit of rust in the beginning, though. Yeah, but it all depends on the game plan. But there may be some. Yeah. But I'm not too concerned, though. I'm not.
So when you talk about the game plan, that's been a big discussion here tonight. Are you concerned about Mike LaFleur's ability to put together a solid offensive game plan to put the Jets in the best position to win this football game? A lot of people talking about he abandons the run too early. There's a lot of stuff going around about his utilization of players as well. We're wondering, hey, when are we going to see more Elijah Moore? Are you concerned about him as a coordinator here?
I'm not concerned about them. The problem is really the left side of the offensive line. I mean, when you got problems like that, it makes it difficult to call plays because you know you don't have enough time in terms of like throwing the football and run blocking. The guy Dermott, he's not good. He's not a good tackle. He shouldn't even be in the NFL when you watch him play. So that makes it very difficult to call a play. It really does. So but I think that looking at the fact that Zach is back and he'd be able to like move around and be mobile. You may see, like the other callers mentioned, you may see the game plan change a little bit more in terms of him getting outside of the pocket and making plays on throwing on a run.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you talk about this offensive line and the protection, and I know people are talking about Zach getting outside and running, and that's wonderful. He can do that. We've seen extensions. We've seen him extend plays and really get outside and make plays. That flash play to Corey Davis running down the field last year, that was phenomenal. But we also saw him get hit a lot, and we saw him get hurt.
Right.
And you just talked about the lack of protection, particularly from one side. How concerned are you about that going into this game? Because, again, he can run all he likes, but eventually he's going to have to pay the piper. And we saw that last season. We saw it against the Panthers, against the Broncos, against the Patriots. All this. How concerned are you that left side's going to let up and he's going to get banged around a lot?
Well, what they should be doing, and what I think they're possibly going to be doing, is not have him drop back so much when he has to read downfield a lot. I mean, they got to get in the rhythm in the game. So they got to start off running the football. Running the football will help get the offensive line in a rhythm. I mean, McDermott is not good at all, but most linemen can run block. So let's stick with running the ball first. But in terms of him running and passing the ball on a run, that should be within the game plan. You know what I'm saying? So that way they get in the rhythm running the football, and then they get a chance for him to go get outside the pocket and throw the ball on the run as it's planned within the game plan. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the key. Mm-hmm. But the strength of the team, the strength of the game plan is really should be the tight ends and also short passing game. That should be that's it. And then also, of course, the field position. We have to win field position. We win field position, I believe we win the game. As the other caller said, I don't think Najee Harris, he's going to be good. He's a tough guy to bring down, but I think we should be able to stop their offense, on defense, that is.
Okay. So when you talk about the defense, I want to go over there with you. What are your thoughts about what are your thoughts about Ulbrich's comments about the defensive line rotation and Quinnen Williams? Do you feel like people are kind of blowing him saying that Quinnen is, he looks over and Quinnen's gas? Do you think people are blowing that out of proportion, or do you think that Coach was trying to throw Quinnen Williams under the bus? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you try to get these players to win. That's what I think. When he's speaking, you try to get the players to win. What the media says, what they're saying, that's what they do. They're there to do that, and that's my take on it. When I looked over at him the other day, when he balked on the defensive coordinator, I had no problem with that. And in the interview, I had no problem with any of that either. The bottom line is you got to go win. I don't care about any of that. It's about winning. Okay. We need to win in Pittsburgh. Win in Pittsburgh, silence. Just silence everybody.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Do you think the New York Jets defensive line will be able to get after, like, our pass rush? Do you think it'll show up in this football game?
Yeah, I do think it's for this football game. The last game was tough because, bro, he can ball, man. The dude can ball. He's been sacked a whole lot, but he still can ball. So that's that. Mm-hmm. And so we're not playing that type of quarterback right now. We're playing a different type of quarterback. So they should be able to get after him. They should be able to bat some balls down. They should be able to make possibly a pick. But I don't see him carving up our secondary. Now, of course, we got problems at the safety position. We do know that. But I think they'll have a better outing this week coming.
Okay. So my final question before I let you go, man, you've been bringing it, BK, bringing some fire. Give me your final score prediction. Jets, Steelers, who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think this game ends up?
They're going to end up scoring around 24-27 around the Jets. I think they'll win the game. Yeah, I think Pittsburgh probably scored 2 touchdowns, maybe even somewhere between 13 to 14 points. That's how I see the game playing out.
Give me a solid score. Just give me one solid
24-14. 24-14. Yeah.
Okay.
24-14.
24-14 Jets.
Yes, sir.
24-14 Jets. Listen, BK, I want to thank you for calling in, man. I got to slide off. I want to thank you again for calling. You have yourself a good one, my friend.
You as well. Peace.
All right. BK calling in with some heat, man. He called in with some fire there. I respect it. All right. He took the Jets. I respect it. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. All right. We're going to keep on getting to these lines. Next, I'm going to my guy, Steve. Steve knows his Jets, man. I really love talking to Steve about this football team. Salute to you, Steve. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, Joe. Well, first off, thank you again for having me on your show, man. It's always great talking to you. So now here we are in week number 4, our final showdown against an AFC North opponent after starting the season 4 straight. Now we go to Pittsburgh and face against the Steelers team. You know, the one thing I'm happy about going into this game is that Zach Wilson is coming back, and he's finally going to make his 2022 season debut. But my concern going into this game is going to be on the left side. Because, listen, if Pittsburgh had TJ Watt for this game, I think we would be in trouble if TJ Watt was going to be playing. But TJ Watt is dealing with a pec injury. He suffered the first game of the year. You know, he's on IR still for at least another couple of weeks. So, but the thing is about Pittsburgh is that Pittsburgh, the thing that worries me about Pittsburgh is that they have an unbelievable defensive talent. I mean, because listen, yes, they still may not have TJ Watt in this game, but remember, they got Cam Hayward and probably the best safety in the game in Micah Fitzpatrick. Like,
yeah,
Micah Fitzpatrick is a player, and I understand Micah Fitzpatrick was in concussion protocol this week, but he's going to be playing. He practiced fully this week. He's going to be good to go for Pittsburgh. But the thing is, what the key is for the Jets off going into this game is that they gotta protect Zach Wilson. Hopefully, the left side will show up for him. Have a good running game against the Steelers defense, and we gotta try to wear out their defense. And the other thing that's tough about going into this game is we're going into Pittsburgh. And listen, I know the Pittsburgh Steelers the last couple of years have not really been the same team as they were like many, many years ago. But, well, I mean, it's not called Heinz Field anymore. It's now, their stadium is now named after a local bank. But Pittsburgh is a tough place to play in. So, all right, Joe, I'll let you get a chance to talk, and then I'll talk to you about the Steelers offense.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. You know what I'm saying? It's I want to thank you for letting me talk here, but seriously, but no, you're bringing some great takes to the show because, like you said as well, you know, we're coming in now, and Zach, this is going to be his first game back, and I'm looking at it and I'm saying to myself, we've got to protect him properly. I've gone back and forth with a lot of Jets fans. They want to have these discussions about Zach being mobile, and that's great. It is great that he's mobile. There's different things you can do, different threats. But when you talk about him being mobile being a reason why you don't necessarily have to properly protect him or protect him as well, it's like that's a very slippery slope to slide down because, again, we saw that, you know, really cause some issues for us last season, almost a catastrophe because at one point we thought he tore his ACL. We thought he was done for the season, and it was just, you know, a couple of weeks with the PCL injury. But you don't want to have that happen to your young quarterback because, again, we're trying to move forward. It's supposed to be the face of our franchise. If he keeps getting blasted every year and he's missing time every year, then that's costing us, you know, because, again, we've invested so much into him. So I'm a little concerned about the protection, again, because we saw protection being an issue this entire year, especially, again, now George Fant's on IR. Dwayne Brown, we'll figure out when he comes back. It's supposed to be week 5, but there's been talks that he may be out longer in week 5, so we'll see. And now you got Conor McDermott over there who has not shown himself to really be able to control. He can't hold his fort. You know, he can't hold the fort, you know, for us too much. We've seen him let up a lot of pressure, so I am concerned. But I'm looking at it and I'm saying, okay, if the New York Jets can get a running game going, if we can finally, fully commit to the run and not get away from it, I think we can have some success against the Steelers. And that's my question for you, Steve, is what are your expectations from Hall and Carter on the ground in this game? Do you think the Jets will be able to really pound the rock against the Steelers?
Yeah, no, I think they could definitely do that because I have seen in the first couple of games that Pittsburgh's D has had a couple of times at stopping the run, and that's something that the Jet offensive line does need to do. They gotta fill in holes to get like running room for Carter and for Hall in this game. But the other thing also too is that, like we said, Joe, what they gotta do is they gotta protect Zach. And like I said before, it is a good thing that T.J. Watt is not playing in this game on Sunday, because if T.J. Watt was playing in this game, we're going to be in trouble. But now I want to talk about the offense now we're going up against. Here is the thing about the Steelers' offense. My biggest concern about facing the Steelers' offense is their running back in Najee Harris. I think Najee Harris is a great talent, and I thought he was a great first-round pick last year by the Steelers in the first round. But that's going to be the one thing that they got to do. They got to maintain with Najee Harris, because if they can maintain with Najee Harris in this game, that's going to make Trubisky throw the ball. I got to be very honest about Mitchell Trubisky, though. He's not really the best quarterback I've ever seen play in the game. Like, he just doesn't impress me at all, that guy. But listen, I know that there will be a time with the key things with the Jets have to do is they got to put pressure
here's the
on
thing,
it.
though, Steve. Here's the thing, though, Steve, and I don't mean to cut you off, but we've heard this. We talked about this when we played Cleveland. People were like, "Hey, Jacoby Brissett, not the greatest quarterback. He's all right. Thank goodness, Watson is not playing because, man, we would really be in trouble." And Jacoby came out there and did pretty solidly against us. The defense just could necessarily stop him. And again, even when he didn't throw for like 400 yards and nothing like that, but they moved the football effectively down the field. And if it wasn't for a mistake, by their back, who knows what could have happened. But listen, Jacoby was running around, and he's not necessarily like the fastest guy in the league. He can move a little bit. He got some yards on the ground as well. Like, they were extending plays and stuff like that. So, but the big thing is, and again, coming into this game, and you were kind of going towards that, was pressure. This Jets pass rush has got to show up in this football game.
Yeah,
we were hoping that they would show up against Cincy. Cincy had 13 sacks in 2 weeks, right? We only got to Joe Burrow twice for the most of the day, clean pocket. You cannot have that against, Trubisky. We've got to get after him. Lawson, I know Lawson has gotten a lot of pressures. I think he's near the top of the league or at the top of the league in pressures, but we got to start getting home, man. We got to start getting home. Jermaine Johnson, Jacob Martin, John Franklin Myers, Rankins, Quinnen Williams, like, we've got to start getting pressure. And if we can't get pressure with our front, which is crazy because we all think that this front is unbelievable coming into the season, then maybe blitzes is what we need to start doing. Start sending pressure doing, but we have to start getting after quarterbacks, because just allowing these guys to sit back there and we're not getting into them is killing us. It's killing us. Go ahead, Steve.
No, it's just, that's going to be the thing too. I mean, listen, that's going to be the thing, because we got to put the pressure on Trubisky. And honestly, like, this is where we're in this game where our defense has to put the pressure on Trubisky to make him make mistakes. Because listen, if the Jets defense doesn't put pressure on making Pittsburgh to try to make Pittsburgh make mistakes, then we're not going to win the game. We got to put pressure on the quarterback, and we got to have that pass rush. We got to find a way to get that pass rush in, because we don't get that pass rush in, we're gonna lose. But what's actually cool is, Joe, is that going into this game this Sunday is I'll be watching the game with my little brother, because my younger brother is a Steelers fan, so we'll be watching the game together.
That's dope, man. That's always dope to have those type of memories with your family. That's a beautiful thing there, Steve. So my final question for you, Steve, before I let you go, man, I know you're going to enjoy it with your brother and have a good old time. Give me your final score prediction, man. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think this game ends up between the Jets and the Steelers?
I think it's going to be a very if I had to predict the final score right now, I'm going to go 23-20 Jets.
Ooh, 23-20 Jets. Let's go.
All right, Joe.
I respect
Gotta get
that,
going, man. Have a good night.
All right, you have a good one. Listen, Steve calling in. He said 23-20 Jets. All right, man. This has been a show, man. This has been a show. I know there's a lot of Jets fans that are upset, and I get it. There's been a lot of things to question, okay? Especially especially with Albridge coming out with the comments and our defense not necessarily playing up to what we'd like to see, especially our front. We were hoping to get a lot more pressure and really get after people, and we're not seeing that consistently, right? You look at our offense, and our offense is having a lot of issues, okay? A lot of issues going forward, okay? I'm trying to figure things out here, and I'm hoping, again, Zach Wilson coming back. Everyone's excited about him. Everyone's excited about this kid. First game of the season, he's coming back off that knee injury, and there's a lot of talk, again, about him being a savior. And I'm a little worried because, again, the protection here is a big, big question. A big question. Big question. This left side of this line is horrific, man. It's horrific. Horrific. I'm going to give you my breakdown of the game and my score prediction in a second. But it's horrific. It's really bad. Tomlinson has been playing really bad this entire season so far. It's crazy how bad he's playing. Now we got McDermott over there. I'm wondering, can Zach come back and shake the rust off? I think that's a big thing that a lot of people are discounting. He has not – he's been out there in practice, doing his thing. And, again, we've seen it. He's in the drills. He's running. He's doing all those things. He looks good. But that game speed, going out there, having guys chasing you, that's going to be a big – he's got to get himself back in the zone there, so that could be a factor. Also, again, the lack of protection could be a big factor as well, too. But, again, we've seen the flashes, the big arm, the stuff like that. Man, I cannot wait to see the kid back out there. I'm also a little bit worried about as well the Jets' offensive game plan. Michael Floyd's got to draw it up, man. He has got to draw it up, and we've got to get it together, okay? We've got to come out, and I think running the football is going to be huge against the Steelers. They give up some yards on the ground now. They give up some yards on the ground, and we're supposed to be a run-first football team. That's what the Shanahan offense is all about. All about. Run first. So I need to get the ball in the hands of Michael Carter, get the ball in the hands of Breece Hall. Let's run the football. Let's get physical with these guys. Get physical with them immediately. Again, the Steelers are a physical football team. Let's get going. Let's run the rock. Let's pound the rock. Let's ease things up. And, again, when you do that, other things open up for the offense as well. Play action becomes more of a threat. That's why a lot of people just sit on our play action because they know we're not running the football effectively. So there's nothing to be afraid of as far as the run game. Nothing to be afraid of because you're not running the football effectively anyway. So we've got to clean that up. Let's run the rock. I want to see what happens again. Garrett Wilson in his football game. Garrett Wilson has just been unbelievable this season. Unbelievable. We saw when he went out, boy, oh boy, the offense sputtered. Okay, we saw him go out against the Bengals with that rib. Offense sputtered. He came back in, and we saw it pick right up as they continued to feed him. We also need, again, to find Elijah Moore. I don't know what's going on with Mike LaFleur, but can we get Elijah Moore in the game plan, please? All right, can we do that? I'm just saying. Let's get the ball to this guy in space. We've seen Elijah Moore completely destroy people. Stuff coming over the middle, he's catching it and getting rolling. Please get this guy in space. Let's see what's going on with him. And Corey Davis, too. I want to see Corey Davis step it up as well. Last game, I think he had 2 catches for 27 yards. Come on, bruh. And he also had a really bad penalty, too. And that's another thing as well. Veterans need to knock it off with these nonsensical penalties. The Jets kick themselves every week with these horrific penalties that only cost us, whether it be defensively or offensively. And, again, a lot of the guys that are creating these issues with penalties are veteran guys that know not to do that. They should not be doing that in this league. So we got to clean that up as well. I want to see Corey Davis step up and get fed the football as well. And, again, defensively, this defensive line has got to get after it, man. Got to get after it. This pass rush has got to be there. And I understand people are talking about Najee Harris. And I get it. Some people feel like he's not a game breaker and all that stuff. Okay, cool. Najee Harris is a really good back in this league. And he's not just a guy that can run. He can catch the football, too, and get rolling as well. So you got to look out for that as well. Him coming out the backfield again, especially with Quincy Williams being injured. All right, he's injured, so he's not going to be playing with that high ankle sprain. So we're going to see Sherwood out there. He's going to be tested in coverage, I guarantee you. I guarantee you that he's going to be tested in coverage. And I think a lot of people are also sleeping as well on these tight ends of the Steelers, okay? Furthermouth and Gentry as well. They got Hayward there too. These are some guys that can move, all right? So do not sleep on them. Don't sleep on them, all right? Don't sleep on them at all because they will put things together and dial it up, okay? So we'll get back to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We are taking all callers, okay? Next, I am going to my guy, Newark, all right? We're coming directly to you, 973-973. Salutes to you, my friend. I want to thank you for calling in. What's going on, man? What's going on?
Hey, how you doing, baby? Man. Long time, man. Brick City Jets fan, man. Listen, baby, I want all the smoke.
Talk about it.
I want all the smoke.
Talk about it.
Zach Wilson's back. I'm predicting right now, 24-17 Jets. I feel like Zach Wilson will be a little rusty, but I feel like this is my predictions. 11 for 14, 250 yards, interception, and 1 touchdown. And it's going to be a game winner to who? Garrett Wilson. Over the top, baby. I'm calling it right now.
Talk that
now, this
talk.
is my biggest concern, baby. I'm going to bring more smoke. So we got to bring the pressure, man. Albrecht got to get his stuff together. I almost slipped up. Sorry, but I know we don't curse on your show, family show.
Yeah, please.
Albrecht need to get his sugar honey iced tea together. Start with this rotation. We got big money on that defensive line. Jermaine Johnson, where you at? Keep him in the game. Quentin Williams, 3rd overall pick a couple years ago. Come on, baby, keep him in the game. John Franklin Myers, bring the pressure, but stop doing boneheaded plays. Take out Joyner, put in Ashton Davis. At least we get some type of. He got 1 interception so far this year. He disappeared. Where he at? And I want the sauce because we love the sauce, baby. Claypool is getting shut down by the sauce, and we're gonna pound that rock. And there's another stat. We haven't beat Pittsburgh in since Mark Sanchez. I'm calling it now. We're going to beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, and we're going to smash on the Dolphins. I hate the Dolphins, but I hope Tua is okay. I don't wish no ill will to any player or anything like that. I'm at the airport where I work at. I'm going to be short, brief, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I love the content, man. Jets on the West Coast. Love from the East Coast. And if I get my brother, my older brother Hakeem Ali, love you, bro. Hope you listening. Let's go Jets. I just had 2 twin nieces and nephews added to the Jets family along with my son. Salute to you, baby. Salute to all my Jet fans, all my Jet content creators. God bless any Jet fans in Florida. Hope you're safe during the hurricane. Hope your family is safe. And this is all love. It's all positive vibes. Positive vibes because if we win 5 games, bye-bye, Salah. Bye-bye, Joe Douglas. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I love those guys. Joe Douglas has been building his team, but I feel like we should have traded Mekhi Becton so we can at least get you a Clowney or somebody because this dude is injury-prone. I mean, it's not Joe Douglas' fault. I feel like it's the player's fault, It is what it is. We need to get healthy. Zach is going to do his thing. He's going to be a little rusty. He's going to do his thing. And go Jets, man.
Absolutely. Listen, I want to thank you for calling in, man. Salutes and congratulations to you as well on the birth. You have yourself a good one.
God bless. You too, brother, always.
Listen, he called in with some fire, okay? And also, you want to know who else is bringing the fire? My guy, Corey Wilson, with the big donation. Again, I want to thank Corey Wilson with the big donation. Sorry, Corey Washington, excuse me. Corey Washington salutes to you. Corey says, we need to use our tight ends as blockers and then let them leak out into the flats as a check down. This defense better not let Trubisky go off either. Corey Washington bringing facts with the donation. Salute to you, Corey. I want to thank you for bringing the takes and also giving to the platform. It's greatly appreciated. My guy, Corey Washington, sneaking in, giving us some takes. Woo! Brought some fire right there. Salutes to everybody, all right? Salutes. So as I continue to break that down, there's a lot of talk, man, a lot of talk, and I got some concerns. I got a lot of concerns, and I'm wondering if the New York Jets can get it done. And I know initially I did take the Steelers. I did. You know, I did a video earlier, and I did take the Steelers. But I'm going to change my prediction, all right? This is going to be a first. I'm going to change my prediction, and I'm going to say the Jets beat the Steelers. I'm going to take the Jets 21-17 Jets. That's who I'm taking right now. That's what I'm taking the Jets 21-17. That's what I'm doing. All right? Change my initial prediction. 21-17 Jets. All right? That's what I'm taking. So give me your thoughts on that. Whew, this has been a Fuego show. We're going to continue on here. I'm going to go ahead and close it out. Again, I want to thank everybody for calling. Listen, I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everybody, go to Facebook, type in The Long Beach Joe Show. The Long Beach Joe Show. Go ahead and follow that page, all right? Talk to me. I'll talk back on there as well, so hit me up and we can go back and forth. My content's on there as well. So when you see that, go ahead and check it out. Give me some feedback. Let me know. I always love going back and forth with folks about what I do on this show. Listen, your boy is also, okay, I'm also, all right, on Twitter. Go on over to Twitter, type in @The Long Beach Joe, @The Long Beach Joe, all right, on Twitter. You can also go to my personal page as well, @YoungJ00, @YoungJ00 on Twitter as well. Follow me. I'll follow you right back. You want to troll me, no issues. I am the troll that lives under the bridge, and I will have my Vera Tucker jersey on at all times. At all times. Okay? Listen, there's a lot of issues along this line. Okay? A lot of issues along this offensive line. Vera Tucker's not one of them. Okay? Him and Max Mitchell, good to go. Vera Tucker, phenomenal. Phenomenal guard. I'm just saying, if you need good offensive linemen, you need good players, come on over to USC, fight on, and, pick plethora of guys getting it done in the league that are Trojans. I'm just saying. There's a kid in Atlanta, young guy, playing extremely well. Y'all know where he came from. You know what I'm saying? You know where he came from. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, Vera Tucker's here. Vera Tucker's balling. Things are looking good. A lot of upside with that kid. He's continuing to dominate people, Year two, same old, even though he's on a different side. It's the same old. Same old thing, baby. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You can catch me on Twitter there as well. Let's troll. I'll troll right back. The troll that lives under that bridge. I am also on YouTube as well, for those of you, that may not know. Come on over to YouTube. Type in Long Beach Joe Jets, Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. Hit that subscription button, okay? Once you subscribe, please hit that notification bell, all right? So when I post content, you folks will be in the know. And if you want to troll me on there as well, no issues. I'm the troll that lives under the bridge. Go ahead, hit those comments, and I'll troll you. We can go back and forth and troll all day and all night. I'm all about it. Let's troll. You know what I'm saying? Troll me, I'll troll you right back. And as always, people, when you see me in person, because you will eventually, it is arms out, chest open, free hugs for everyone. Free hugs for everyone. Hugs will cost you absolutely nothing. I want to thank you folks for taking the time in to call in, to watch, to listen, to give to the platform. Anything that you folks do is greatly appreciated, okay? Without you people, I'm absolutely nothing. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to do all of those things. You folks are the absolute best. The absolute best, all right? So you folks have a good one. Peace. 1 second.